Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video today, as the title suggests, we're going to be discussing a little bit about U.S. expat tax issues for those Americans who are abroad. A very interesting article recently came to my attention through the expatnetwork.com. That's expatnetwork.com. The title of the article is U.S. Offshore Voluntary Disclosure Program to Close. Quoting directly from that article, the U.S. IRS has announced that the Offshore Voluntary Disclosure Program, OVDP, will close in September 2018. The OVDP was set up to allow U.S. expats with potentially serious offshore compliance issues to avoid criminal prosecution and cap any exposure to penalties. The IRS indicated that the reason was the significant, this is quoting, the significant decline in the number of taxpayers participating. There has been a decline from 18,000 in 2011 to 600 in 2016, according to an article in the National Law Review. Quoting further, where the original compliance was not willful, the streamlined filing compliance procedure and the delinquent FBAR and delinquent international information returns filing procedures will continue to be available. Acting IRS Commissioner David Cowder stated that taxpayers have had several years to come into compliance with U.S. tax laws under this program. All along, we've been clear that we would close the program at the appropriate time, and we have reached that point. Those who still wish to come forward have time to do so. And that last part is very important. There is still, as of the time of this filming, there is still a window to get in there. So those that feel that they may have an issue with respect to U.S. tax compliance are strongly recommended by me, and I think pretty much any other tax professional is going to agree, get in there and get in while the window is still open and get this dealt with and move on with your life. Because, you know, having to deal with issues pertaining to tax compliance and possible criminal prosecutions associated therewith is simply not something one really wishes to deal with. I don't think at all. This should also be taken in light of the fact that there have been other changes with respect to rules regarding tax compliance and the ramifications for U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents abroad. Less to the point of lawful permanent residents for now, although there are other videos. Specifically, there's a video regarding I-407 surrenders of U.S. green cards abroad, which goes into this a little bit more. Specific to U.S. citizens, and we've done another couple of videos on this topic, but specific to U.S. citizens, this announcement should also probably be viewed with substantial seriousness, especially in light of the fact that the IRS and the Department of State have both given notice that they will begin not only certifying delinquent taxpayers, but also the Department of State will be revoking passports for those who have over $50,000 in accumulated essentially debt to the IRS, accumulated tax obligations to the IRS in the form of interest, penalties, fees, etc. So if one owes the IRS $50,000 or more, one can have their U.S. passport revoked. Now, to be clear, this could even happen abroad. This could happen at a U.S. embassy when one is dealing with the U.S. embassy and they have to present their passport and comes to find out, you know, the U.S. embassy checks it and, oh my gosh, you're $50,000, delinquent in taxes. It's been certified by IRS. We're the Department of State. We're going to take that passport right here and now. And in those circumstances, that individual is only going to be given, temporary documentation in order to travel back to the United States and deal with the matter. The other thing that can happen is one will be precluded from having a passport issued in order to leave the United States. So these issues should be viewed in light of the fact that there are increasingly more stringent penalties associated with non-compliance with various tax policies, rules, and regulations, as well as now they're even starting to close down some of the amnesty programs that were there for those who might not be in compliance to go ahead and get in compliance. So again, September 2018, apparently this is the deadline. After that, folks that aren't in compliance may have some serious issues down the road. One final thing to take into consideration, as mentioned when quoting that article, the streamlined processing and basically all of those mechanisms that are used for those who are non-willfully in sort of non-compliance, for lack of a better term, with IRS, those programs are going to remain. But that being said, it's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to remain forever. Moreover, those who have really serious tax arrears or tax issues are strongly advised to deal with them before September 2018 for fear of future, probably more harsh penalties.